Nation, it is Tuesday, and I am tired as all hell, but I'm going to fake smile the heck out of this show. Because like my grandma used to tell me, real emotions are for the weak. Also Jews. My grandma was a terrible person. And the first thing I have to talk about today is our douchebag of the day, 19-year-old Hannah Sabata. The reason being is Hannah made a stupid YouTube video. But Phil, what could be in this video that would make her douchebag of the day? Well, you know how I think it's stupid when criminals make videos for themselves so they can show their friends and be like, oh, we bad. Well, she went up those stories by in the YouTube video admitting to stealing a car and then showing off the keys, then explaining how she robbed a bank by gunpoint, and finally waving herself with the money she stole from the bank. But I thought to myself, no, there's no way this story's true. It's like this 19-year-old white girl, she's trying to look hard for her friends. But Hannah, in all her infinite wisdom that she has shown thus far, wore the exact same clothing in her video as when she robbed the bank. As is expected, Hannah has been arrested, but she defended what she did by saying that she is a victim of the government, that the whole system is just a game, and the government stole her baby. Nope, just Hannah, nope, nope, nope. You are a douchebag of the day. And I guess the main point here is, once again, if you do something illegal, don't film it and then probably not upload it to the most viewed video website on the internet. That's probably always a good rule. Then let's talk about KATT Williams. Now, I say this as someone that really enjoys KATT Williams. I don't maybe like to admit it to my friends, but I love KATT Williams comedy specials. I think he's a smart comedian. I think he's a smart businessman for the most part. But the guy seems like to have lost it. There's this new video, I don't know if you saw, he smacked a Target employee in the face for it seems like no reason. He was arrested, but then soon bailed out of jail by good old Suge Knight, like a Suge Knight do. Also, in a crazy update to the story, the kid that got slapped, his name is Forrest, and he was fired hours after this happened. A Target spokesman did confirm that Forrest was fired, but they did clarify saying, quote, his departure was unrelated to the video footage that has appeared online. Out of personal respect of privacy of this individual, we cannot discuss the reasons for his departure. I don't often do this, like 99% of the time I would give other advice, but to Forrest, I would just do the American thing and sue. But that's also because if I was in your position, my ego would be so destroyed that KATT Williams comes into my store, slaps me in the face, and then I get fired. I'd probably feel worthless. But fun side note, I actually worked for Target for, I want to say, like 1 to 2 days. But then quit because I realized that for my personality type, working with the public was just like, it was just a matter of time before I put a gun in my mouth. And it's just another example of the craziness that has been around KATT Williams. I mean, we had Sunday News, where according to Seattle police, he got into a bar fight which he threatened people with a pool cue. He refused to leave the establishment until he finally did leave, when he followed a family outside, and then he threw a lit cigarette at a woman in her car, then threw a rock at a car. Those that follow the guy's career know that like a while ago, KATT Williams had to be pulled off stage by Suge Knight, who then explained that he was on some bad cocaine, that he had had too much cocaine. When Suge Knight says that you've done too many drugs, you know you have a problem. And today, for a little bit of sexy time news, I went to the Twitterverse and asked, who is the sexiest person that you follow on Instagram? You guys sent a ton of people. And out of everyone that you linked me to, there was a definitive winner, and that was Miss Tina Shea. She describes herself on her page as a singer, songwriter, dancer, actor. On a personal note, I don't know if I've thrown it out there before, I love black girls. I am also infatuated with redheads, and she is both of those things. There's something about the color contrast. This puts me in the mood for vanilla chocolate swirl. I don't know what I'm feeling right now. If you want to check out a gallery of some of my favorites or her Instagram, link to those down below. If you do go to check her out, let her know the nation sent you, and I don't know, maybe that we could take pictures in a completely professional setting. This is weird now, moving to the next story. In super happy fun time patent news, Verizon has now filed for a patent for a DVR that listens to your conversations. Here is how that technology would work. You, in the privacy of your own home, are fighting with a friend, snuggling, doing some weird sex stuff, whatever happens in your household, no judgment. And while all of that is going on, your DVR is listening to all of those things so they can serve you targeted ads. Examples given, a couple is fighting, you get ads for marriage counseling. Or maybe it hears you cuddling or using all the words in the thesaurus for going down on a girl, and it's like, hey, condoms, get condoms, you need condoms. No, I do not want this, do not do this ever. If you do this, I will leave the hell out of your company. It really weirds me out that Google knows everything I search. Like, based on my job and my weird things in my brain, like Google probably knows how messed up of a human being I am. I do not also need an advertising company knowing the things that come out of my mouth. I mean, self-sabotage is in my genes, but no, that's taking it too far. Unless it's free. In that case, I'll do it. I'm cheap as all hell. And next up is a story that just hurts my brain, that it is a story, and it makes me disappointed in humankind. But let's jump into it. Yesterday in New York, a 58-year-old man by the name of Kisak Han was pushed onto these subway tracks. Onlookers described the man that pushed Han onto the subway tracks as a 6-foot-tall, around 200 pounds kind of build black man who seemed mentally deranged. This was later confirmed by surveillance video that has now been released to the public showing this man having an argument with Han. Soon after Han was pushed onto the tracks. He was hit by a train, he was in the hospital, critical injuries, and is now dead. And somehow, in this crowded station, the man who did this just walked away. No one helped Han on the tracks, no one got police and got the man that did this, and even worse, the New York Post had this as their front page. Pushed on the subway track, this man is about to die, doomed. That photograph taken by New York Post photographer Umar Abbasi. So not only did no one help Han, someone took a picture of him as he died. This cover and photograph, as expected, has resulted in many people criticizing the photographer, saying, oh, you had time to take pictures of him, but you didn't have time to help him. Abbasi's excuse for how everything went down was, he was trying to use his camera flash to warn the train's conductor, suggesting that the photos were a byproduct of Abbasi trying to save a man. And I have to say, Abbasi must be a fantastically skilled photographer to take such an amazing low-light photograph while running. I don't see motion blur, I don't see artifacts, but that could be in post. I would love for the New York Post to actually release the raw file. Maybe that cover is Photoshop genius and not a man who is taking his time framing up a death shot. The Post even went further to defend Abbasi, saying, quote, he wasn't strong enough to lift Han off the tracks. I'm not even gonna argue against that point. I don't know what this guy looks like. There are also people criticizing the New York Post of, okay, well, if this picture was incidental, did you really have to put it on the cover? That cover being described by at least one Guardian editor as sickening rubbernecking front page from the New York Post, which you could argue against that. What about photographs from Vietnam, from wars, the falling man from 9/11? It is a photographer's job to take a photo to show life, to elicit some emotional reaction, and this photo does do that. And I'm not even just like disgusted with the photographer, I'm disgusted with him and anyone else that was even close that did not do a thing. People turn into sheeple in groups, and it's a very disappointing life fact. That's why, and fun life advice for you, if you ever need help, you always go to one person. Someone has a heart attack, something bad, hey you call the police, hey you do this one thing. And Nation, that's why I want to pass this question on to you. Who is in the wrong? Obviously, you have the guy that committed the crime, and if you recognize him, you know anything, there is a number to call the police down below. But was it wrong for the New York Post to have that as a cover? Is it informative or exploitive? Was it wrong that Abbasi took pictures? Let me know what you think in the comments down below or a video response. And remember to possibly get $50 worth of stuff from FHP. Leave a comment down below, join the conversation, maybe hit the like button, favorite if you really like it. But of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.